When I start a labyrinth walk, I sometimes have questions that I want to have answered, but I also walk it with an appreciation for the earth beneath me and asking that the energy that comes from the labyrinth permeates the earth and spreads out and brings healing, and that each one of my footsteps is a kiss of appreciation for this earth. It has been shown that many people have found peace on the labyrinth, they found healing, and so it really felt important to bring something like this to the community.
I was really interested in the labyrinth as a tool that people in the community could use to de-escalate and to meditate and to find a place of calmness.
I want to cover the orange line.
I'm so grateful to see the crew that's here today because they really represent the people that have been part of making this happen.
There's a group here from the jail. There's a group from across the street, the Recover Project. There is a group from an organization called Building Bridges, which is a veterans group that has lunch across the street from us once a week.
There are also people from other faith communities, people from Second Congregational Church, Temple Israel. I don't think there's anyone here volunteering today, but they definitely donated to make this happen. I was working next to a woman whose family were the donors of the Labyrinth at Greenfield Community College, which has, I guess, gone into some disrepair over the last decade or whatever. And so she's very excited that a new labyrinth is coming to Greenfield. So she's here digging.
Good, that's great, that's wonderful.
The labyrinth is a symbol that is at least 4,000 years old. We don't know who made the first one or why or where, and because they seem to appear around the world in different places where societies didn't necessarily interact. Over the thousands of years, there's been periods of time where there's a flurry of interest in labyrinths, and then also periods of time when they're sort of dormant, when people forget about them, they don't use them. And as we look back on the history of labyrinths and follow the track, we've determined that the periods of heightened use tend to coincide with periods of chaos and turmoil within a society or community. So when there's wars, plagues, or a lot of technologies like we're working with now, or political strife or things like that, people tend to want to go more inward, finding spiritual practices that are calming, and the labyrinth seems to be presenting itself now in our times for those purposes. And so nowadays, labyrinths aren't just found in churches for prayer, but they're found in public schools, they're found in hospital and healthcare settings, where people will walk them for very different reasons, sometimes to relieve stress, sometimes just have a step away from the craziness of the world outside of them. Labyrinths are used for weddings and funeral ceremonies. They're used for conflict resolution, for problem solving. They're used for physical education in schools, and calculus and geometry, and can be used for all kinds of different curriculum.
My name's Ray Neely. I'm a member of DAV Post 33 here in Greenfield, and we help sponsor the Building Bridges program. And I'm a member of the church, St. James and Andrew's Church here. They've been asking for volunteers to put in a permanent labyrinth. It's a way you can walk in circles without having to think where you're going and just think, help calm yourself, or, it's in a nice setting. So it's a nice way to spend your time, and glad I could help out. First time I ever walked one was about 6 months ago, and I thought, geez, what is this? I feel kind of silly, but if you take it for what it is, just follow the path and gives you time to think, and it can help you, calm yourself down if you're nervous or whatever. And it's a good thing to do.
It was about building community, and that's my passion. Especially at the Recover Project, that's what we do. That's the focus of our work. So I got involved. I learned a lot about labyrinths, and I learned that there's a lot more to learn about labyrinths. Today, doing this and seeing it come to fruition after so much hard work, working with these women who never lost sight of the vision of what they wanted to do for the community. Here it is, and it's hard to believe that it's happened, but it's such a gift.
It just has been a place of renewal for me, a place to let out some rage at times, place to dance, place to sing. Yeah.